Hi guys, Lee Anderson and his Conservative Party have absolutely nothing positive to show for themselves after 13 years in power, that they have to resort to culture wars and, can you believe it, hypotheticals involving Jeremy Corbyn and Diane Abbott. Yes, 30p Lee would like you to ignore the shambles of Boris Johnson, Liz Truss and Rishi Sunak and worry about what could have been if the general election had gone the other way in 2019. The Tories are currently having a meltdown over people protesting, and this guy wants Suella to act even tougher. Have a listen to this.
Doesn't the country at this moment need a strong Home Secretary like Suella to say these things, to get behind the British people, to get behind our police, which is an important thing, because I think some of our police forces at the moment in London and in Manchester have been found wanting?
Well, I think absolutely we need a strong Home Secretary. I know you're going to laugh if I say we've had 13 years of chopping, changing, police numbers going down to a record low, and now going back up somewhat. But the police do need clarity. I mean, I've spoken to a former police officer this week. It's very difficult to police these marches if they're given the sanction to go ahead by the government, because actually dragging people out of the crowd is basically the potential to start a riot. So I'm pleased that this weekend we saw the police actually gathering intelligence, putting photos out there, and then finding out who the people were and arresting them the day after the march.
I think, Niall, it's probably, I mean, Matthew makes a fair point. I think it's reasonable to suggest that, thank goodness we've been in power for 13 years. Otherwise, 5 or 6 years ago, we could have had Diane Abbott as the Home Secretary.
Yeah, you can imagine if Jeremy Corbyn was the Prime Minister right now, he would be supporting, of course, all of these pro-Hamas demonstrators.
Oh my goodness. Please deliver me from this madness. Oh, where to begin? Okay, first of all, isn't it interesting that the guy left in the corner, literally left in the corner, made a very valid point about policing. And this is nothing to do with Suella Braverman. This is nothing to do with Suella Braverman acting tough or supporting the police. This is the police doing police work. Finding possible troublemakers, potential troublemakers, and taking them out. Arresting them, taking them out of circulation. This is nothing to do with Suella Braverman. And Lee Anderson saying, thank goodness we've been in power for 13 years. Thank goodness we've had Tories running the country for over a decade. Thank goodness for raw sewage being pumped into rivers and lakes. Thank goodness that the NHS, that used to be the gold standard, the envy of the world, is now literally crumbling and falling apart. Hospitals are literally crumbling because of neglect from the Tories, cuts to public services, more food banks than McDonald's restaurants, 800,000 and potentially more children living in poverty. Destitution has returned as a noun. We thought that was going to go away, but the Tories have brought it back into fashion. Corruption, PPE contracts to donors and friends of the party. Well, and just think about it. Then they go to, well, it could have been much worse. Jeremy Corbyn could have been in charge. Jeremy Corbyn. They always bring up Jeremy Corbyn. Jeremy Corbyn isn't even a Labour MP. But for some reason, Jeremy Corbyn is the bogeyman. Jeremy Corbyn is the go-to guy to convince people you need to vote for the Conservatives. And it's interesting that he said that, well, if Jeremy Corbyn was in charge today, isn't it? It's very interesting because the Tory MP who was elected and became Prime Minister in 2019 isn't even an MP today. Boris Johnson is no longer an MP. How many times have they changed since 2019? Well, from Boris Johnson when the election went to Liz Truss, and then from Liz Truss to Rishi Sunak. So, maybe Jeremy Corbyn wouldn't even be Prime Minister. It could be somebody else. But this idea that Jeremy Corbyn, it's pathetic. But this is all they have. Culture wars and Jeremy Corbyn. The people, the public, are copping on to this. They understand that it's all a charade. It's all a farce. These people have been in power for 13 years. What have they achieved? How have they made people's lives better? They haven't. They can't even point to something that has improved. Brexit, for example. What good has Brexit done? And if you look at the numbers who are still voting Tory, who still support them, it's something like 25%. Who are these people? What have they got out of this? Are they not suffering the cost of living crisis? Are they not seeing their mortgages go through the roof? Are they not importing or exporting post-Brexit? Are they not struggling to find workers? Are they all hedge fund managers? Are they all people on the same pay grade as Rishi Sunak? Who are these people? Are they retirees living in mansions, completely isolated from the cost of living crisis? Who are they? Anyway, these people need to be convinced, it seems, that Jeremy Corbyn could make some sort of comeback, or it's better that the Tories have been in charge than Jeremy Corbyn. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.